Good morning. Do everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. We start our session on a Student Gaidar Forum 2021. The session has a very short but very complex title, Fintech and Banking. Some organizational remarks. The presenter will give his or her view on the matter, and we have an expert on the board who is Ilgiz Gimaldinov, our lecturer and specialist in blockchain and related matters. And then we will have some Q&A session after the presentation. If somebody has a question in the course of the presentation, please write the question, put the question in chat, and the answer will come just after. Just not to waste the time, I would like to ask our first speaker, who is Artyom Knyazev, to start his presentation. The title is Reasons for Development of Digital Currency. Artyom, floor is yours, please proceed.
Okay. Hello, thank you. Do you see my presentation?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Okay. Hello, my name is Artyom, and today I would like to tell you about reasons for creating digital currency. And the first, I want to tell you about the impact of cryptocurrencies on CBDC. And after Bitcoin was introduced, most experts believed that Bitcoin replacement for traditional cash, traditional money. However, Bitcoin has some negative sides. Bitcoin has a really big risk for usual people. Usual people cannot save their own money because Bitcoin has big volatility, and therefore price of Bitcoin can be very quickly rise and fall. That's why Bitcoin attracts of speculators and traders who have the main goals make of money. That's why Bitcoin that's why appeared stablecoin. Stablecoin can be patched to traditional assets and different metals and resources. Stablecoin has less risk. However, stablecoin is private currency, and people don't have any guarantees. Due to this, 19% of central bank whole world try to create their own CBDC, central bank digital currency. China is actively seeking to create its own digital currency, and they want to achieve some goals. Due to CBDC, China can reduce their risk of sanctions, and that's why they can be a more independent country. Also, China wants stop to use SWIFT technology, but they need to understand that this decision have a bad effect on China. And also, thanks to the creation of the CBDC, China will be able to increase its level of influence on the world. What does digital currency give? The first, thanks to CBDC, countries will be able to increase their stability because due to CBDC, some transactions, some operational transactions can be more visible for CBDC. the speed of transaction also will be increased. And of course, thanks to CBDC, will be freedom to pay pass the bank payment system. And in conclusion, I want to say that now 19% of CBDC wants to create their own CBDC, central bank digital currency, and some experts think and believe that in 2025 all countries will be use this new technology CBDC. Thanks for attention.
Tom, thank you very much. And additional thing that you fit on time. And our expert, Ilgiz, has, as far as I understand, his view on the presented matter. Maybe some comments or question. Please, Ilgiz, now it's your turn.
Thank you. Artem, what do you think? What will be the place for CBDC in the world?
I think that CBDC has a big role in our world because due to this technology, country can have some advantages. For example, the first country can be payment system for CBDC for central bank will be more visible for central bank, and I think that due to this, this technology is a very big role for a lot of countries.
Okay, so I'm looking in our chat whether our participants have their questions to the presenter. As far as I understand, not yet. Okay, so we will have afterwards the Q&A session where the questions will be addressed to all of our participants. So let's switch to the next person in our presentation. 1 second. This is Musa Nasibov. Musa, the floor is yours. Please proceed. Musa, everything is okay. The slide is on the screens in full screen, please.
Hello, everyone. You can see me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. My name is Nasibov Musa. I'm Ranepa student. And today I would like to speak about central bank digital currency of Russia, digital ruble. First of all, I would like to start with what is the digital ruble. The digital ruble will be a digital form of national currency, ruble, and will have all the necessary properties to perform the functions of money. The central bank will issue a digital ruble and create a special CBDC platform. For the introduction of the digital ruble, it is necessary to create an additional payments infrastructure, which will contribute to the future development and future increase the stability of the Russian payment system. In the slide, you can see several properties. For example, 24 hours access, high security, usability, privacy, and high-level speed. Next slide, technical implementation. There are 3 technical models for implementing the digital ruble. DLT, first model, is a distributed registry. This system represents automated execution, high stability, and the use of smart contracts. There are also negative aspects. There are no accounting standards, regularity framework, and no administration system. Next model, centralized registry. This model is more powerful and more stable than the DLT, but have only one participants. In our situation on the central bank of Russia, it is, risky. And finally, the new model, hybrid model. This model includes only the advantages of the DLT model and centralized registry. For example, only high speed of transactions, high stability, and easy of implementation for central bank. Next, I want to tell about the implementation model, digital ruble. First, wholesale. In this model, central bank has proposed several options for implementing the digital ruble, and in these options, the main idea is that the central bank issues a digital ruble, create the platform, and opens only one wallet for banks and financial institutes. This options isn't suitable because it does not benefit business in country and humans. In this case, the central bank issues a digital ruble to create a platform, and the services provided by central bank without the participation of commercial banks and financial organizations. These options carries a huge load for the regulator, which can lead to failures. Retail bank is an agent. In this situation, the central bank allows commercial banks and financial organizations to open wallets, but they only initiate the opening processes and are not related to them. And finally, retail bank is an depository. Having considered all the options of implementing the digital ruble, we can say which this model is more better because you can see financial institutions and implementing the digital ruble too easy. Having considered all the options for implementing the digital ruble, we can say which one is better. The most likely implementation options is model D, retail bank is in depository. Since the central bank allows commercial banks and financial institutions to open and maintain customer wallets, it also reduces the load on the central bank. Advantages and features you can see in this model: financial institutions, intermediaries, the financial institutes open wallets, service by wallet, custom apps, cashback system, and etc., and identification processes. In conclusions, we can say the optimal model D, retail bank is in depository. the central bank only issues digital ruble and create a digital platform. Exchange rate only 1-to-1, cash ruble and non-cash ruble. And hybrid model is high level to implementation digital ruble. That's all what I want to say about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Musa. Your presentation is a very timely one because yesterday Russian Central Bank. Could you please withdraw your screen from the presentation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stop the screen.
Conclusions? Stop. Okay.
Could you please stop? Yes.
Thank you.
Just yesterday, Central Bank of Russian Federation presented its concept document, the second phase of this process on Russian ruble, and the decision already taken and announced in this document that the version D, namely commercial bank as a depository, has been decided by Russian Central Bank, and we could expect that until the end of this year, the experimental variant of a Russian ruble system will be presented to the public. But I don't like to occupy this role of speaker. Ilgis, now is your turn. What is your view on this presentation and your question?
Yeah, Musa, what you think? You said that hybrid model is a better option to implement digital ruble. What do you think? Why and what benefits this decision had?
Thank you for your question, Evgis. I think the hybrid model combines features from DLT and centralized registry. For example, high level speed transactions, high security, and the hybrid model to easy implement digital ruble from central bank. But DLT, because there are disadvantages. For example, no standards accounting, no central administration, and this is, risky for Central Bank of Russia.
All right. I just checked our chat. No question has been sent to the chat yet, so we will keep them for the Q&A session after the presentation. So, Musa, thank you very much. We are proceeding to our next speaker, who is Zakhar Kislich. He will be talking about the utilization of blockchain technology in the legal sphere. It's a very interesting topic. So, Zakhar, floor is yours.
Just a second. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you and we see your presentation.
Okay, fine. Good morning to everyone. The topic of my report is legal concept of implementing blockchain technology as a new way of organizing the stock market infrastructure. So the purpose of the report is to explore the possibility of integrating blockchain technology into the organization of the stock market. Is there an intersection of this initiative with the legislation of the Russian Federation? Is it possible to tokenize assets within 2 or 3 years? These are the key questions for our report and study. Let's start with the background. Blockchain is a multifunctional and multi-level information technology designed for reliable accounting of various assets. Transactions in blockchain technology are implemented through smart contracts. The Civil Code or the Russian Federation does not provide for concepts of blockchain, token, and ICO. However, the federal law on digital financial assets applies such concepts as digital rights and digital money, which essentially mean a token and cryptocurrency in Russian Federation. I would like to introduce you two models which have been raised in our study, and there are two tokenization models, I would like to say. The process is about the same, the above mentioned models, but different participants. We have model 1 and model 2, which divides on two different models. So I would like to discuss it more constructive, and next we will do it. So it's the first model. I have called it like participation with counterparty. We should understood that for the tokenization of securities, we will need a counterparty who will directly convert equity or debt instruments of companies into digital financial assets, the concept of which is currently defined. Such counterparties will be invest platforms whose activities have already regulated in the federal law on attracting investments using investment platforms on and on amendments to certain legislative acts of Russian Federation. There are steps of our processes which we will see on our presentation. When investors and company has relationship between them through our counterparty, which will be an investment platform. So nextly, I would like to talk about my second model, especially second model point 1. It's tokenization of company assets without STO. STO is a security token offering, and we should view on this model through company's view. For company's vision, this innovative model is the direct placement of the company's own tokens. This is a direct contact between investors and the company, which allows you to reduce transaction costs, clearing costs, and the depository costs, since the company will independently keep records. The token will be the token will be secured by the company's share, which will be depend on the final placement of the company and the nominal value of the share. Also, the company, in addition to shares, can use the tokenization of the commodity market if we consider raw materials. For example, even if the token is backed by gold or other precious metals, which are also confirmed by the value chain, which increases the confidence of investors. Consider the model in this slide. Now I would like to move on the second type of this model. It's model 2.2. It's tokenization of company assets with STO. This third model will be similar to the previous one, since the scheme here works on the same principle. The difference is there that in the previous scheme, we mean that our company assets are already traded on the secondary market. In the same scheme, the STO security token offering mechanism will be used. Thus, the company will initially place tokenized assets on the primary market, which will allow investors to participate in the direct placement at the nominal price of the assets. Their structure of this model is shown on this slide. I would like to move on the next slide with our problems of this issue. It should be considered in mind that there are a number of obstacles to the introduction of the blockchain technology. The lack of development of the Russian legislation, possible regulatory measures, as well as the confidence of the market participants, namely investors represented by individuals and legal clients. Thus, as a result of study, it can be concluded that there are several recommendations. Let's figure it out. I mean, Russian legislation can be improved, and it requires some improvements. But in the next year or two, we can see the implementation model which we have discussed above. It may be in this form or in a proximate form in the future. Thank you for your attention. I'm ready to answer on your question.
Zahar, thank you very much for your comprehensive presentation, according to which we could expect very interesting events in our nearest future in the area of digitalization, digital assets, and all this digital, how to say, world in Russian case. So, Ilgiz, what kind of comments, what kind of question do you have to the this material of Zahar?
Thank you, Zahar, for presentation. You say that there is need some changes in legislation to see tokenization of assets in next few years. Could you describe precisely what should be changed, or maybe you have some ideas what should be changed?
Thank you, Ilgiz, for your question. Yes, I have several ideas that what can be improved. Firstly, I think it's taxes code of the Russian Federation, which will be optimized by our new concepts of blockchain, of cryptocurrencies, because recently, I mean, about 3 or 4 days ago, we have news about new amendments to our taxes code, where government suggests to discuss, not to discuss, but to declare from participants of the cryptocurrencies market, to declare their turnover of cryptocurrencies if it higher than 600,000 of rubles. So it is high control on our assets, and I think it should be optimized in the future. Also, as have been added such terms as blockchain, or maybe other assets, not assets, other technologies should be concretized, like Ethereum, or maybe ICO, smart contracts, STO. So I think that's my answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Zahar. We also will reserve the time for answering the questions to your topic just after all presentation are done in the Q&A session. So we switch to our next speaker, who is Adam Khutiev, with a very interesting topic of digitalization of insurance in Russian Federation, the process which is now taking the speed. So Adam, your turn, please. Do we have Adam? Just a second.
He just have some problems with connection, as he have already written to us.
Sorry.
We think
he will.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will join about in 3 or 5 minutes, because I see he has been disconnected by our system. I mean, by Zoom.
I will call you by phone, just not to spend the time. We are
There is Adam.
Switching to
He
here is
joined.
Adam.
Yes, yes. So it's okay.
Sorry,
He has repaired his connection.
he's joining. Okay. All right, Adam. It's very good to have you joined us. Please, now is your turn. Could you please share your screen, demonstrate your screen? Adam.
Good afternoon, Konstantin Nikolaevich. Good afternoon, dear colleagues.
Adam, we don't see your screen. Could you please share it?
Yes, yes.
Is there any problem? Maybe you need some more time. We could pass your turn to the next speaker, and you will correct. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we are switching to our next speaker, and Adam will have an option to join the next turn. Now it's Daria Bobrish. She is going to talk about electronic signature and all the matter related to this issue. Please, Daria.
Да. Have you seen it?
Yes, we see it and we hear you.
Okay, so hello everyone. My topic is about analysis of the electronic digital signature reliability. It's not a secret that 21st century is a digital century, which is characterized in economic firstly on the basis of information technology. So IT has changed our traditional way of life. Information technologies are simplified it, and at the same time they have done some new problems. One of them is a problem of information security, because in the majority of cases, document flow is used in electronic form. Technology of e-signature can expand the opportunities of electronic document flow. Electronic signature is a cryptographic software that applies electronic identification methods such as digital certificates and personalized password and login, which allow to check identity of a defined person. The signature divides into three types: basic, advanced, and qualified e-signatures. They have some differences between each other. The most popular is basic signature, which is used almost everywhere. AES and QoS provide the highest level of trust and assurance because they use unique signing case for every signer. Compare analysis of the mechanic basic signature and ways to confirm addresses in the blockchain. Basic digital signature often uses for authorization in the websites or in the banking sector or portal of public services. So let's consider this mechanism for operation on the example of the position of banking service. A private person wants to issue a bank product, for example, card, so he needs to complete registration process and identify his identity in the bank. After that, make registration in the internet banking system for forming permanent username and password to log in. For the next time, he will be able to log into the system under his personal password and login to make different transactions. The combination of the login, password, and phone number is a simple identifier of the identity in intentions of the clients. In other words, this complex can be regarded as the client's signature under the actions performed. In this way, system itself generates a random number for confirmation, and after that, the first transfer requests the necessary data. Speaking about blockchain, where system generates a new block by mining every 10 minutes. Then this block checks and records new transactions and links them to the Bitcoin chain. This means that the transaction remains unconfirmed until the miner generates a new block. One confirmation usually takes near 10 minutes. But since one single confirmation is not enough to confirm that the transaction is valid, users must still wait until block will generate, then check the information. After the transaction is completed, the wallet should display an option that allows you to view the transaction in the block Explorer or displays the transaction ID. The transaction ID is completed. The wallet is long string of letters and numbers that are randomly shuffled. So to sum it all up, I can say that e-signatures are a good way to secure the confidential information of your clients based on a mechanism that is similar to the mechanism of blockchain system.
Okay. Thank you very much, Daria. Now it's very interesting to ask Ilgiz, what's your view? What's maybe your question regarding the perspective of the substitution, the very simple how to say type of signing electronic document to a very complex one, which is based on a cryptography technology. Could you please comment or ask Daria the question in this regard?
I don't get what's the benefits of traditional cryptography based signing using traditional signing signature and signing transactions in blockchains. What's the difference of these two options, and what benefits of each option? Could you describe, please?
When we are talking about transactions in the document flow, in where we use e-signature, we can say that we can check and identify the identity of defined person. But if we talk about transactions in the blockchain, we couldn't see the person who made this transaction.
Okay, so as far as I understand from this discussion and your presentation, that the handwriting will become in the nearest future. It's a very rare activity, and people probably will have a special, we should take a special lesson in training how to write by hand in the future. Okay, it was a joke. Now we are ready to proceed, and my question is whether Adam is ready to present his material. Or Adam, what have you fixed your technical problems?
Yes, I fix it.
Okay.
1 second.
So please, floor is yours. Please switch on your video and share your screen. Okay. Yeah, we see your screen. Could you to the full screen mode?
Yes. Moment, please.
Slideshow. Yeah, thank you. Very good.
Okay.
It works.
Okay. It is obvious that the opportunities provided by digital technologies are far from being fully realized. The expansion. Sorry, moment, please.
Adam, it's okay if you can't switch to the full screen. Please proceed with this type of presenting. Adam, I don't hear you. Could you please switch on your microphone? Adam, do you hear me?
Konstantin Nikolaevich, I'm sorry, I have a problem with the presentation. Please, one moment.
Okay, please try one more. Could you stop your screen demonstration just to switch to another?
Okay.
Okay. So Adam still have some problem. So we are proceeding further to Artyom Kurnosov, who will be talking about very interesting topic of smart contracts. Artyom, floor is yours, please.
Thank you. I need 1 minute to share my screen.
Please proceed.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we hear you, but we don't see your screen yet. Oh, now it works. Okay.
Everything fine?
Yeah, everything is good. Please.
Okay.
On.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Artyom Kurnosov, and My theme for today's report is interbank money transfers, problems and prospects of using smart contracts. Let's move forwards. Interbank transfers are used by millions of people every day, but they have some problems that can soon be solved with the help of the latest technologies. On the slide, you can see a schematic simplified view of transfer. As you can see, the money transfer process requires a large number of intermediaries and payment stages, which greatly slows down the transfer process. On the slide, you can see interbank money transfer, including SWIFT message, which describes payment. It contains a moderate number of information about transfer and its purpose. All SWIFT messages do have unified standards and look pretty similar to simplify the decoding. You can see the example below on the slide. Typical message contains 2-letter MT, could be interpreted as message type, and 3 digits. First represents a category of payment, second represents a group of related parts in a transaction life cycle, and the third digit is the type that denotes the specific message. As you can see, messages include pretty limited list of information about payments and related details. There are many problems in interbank settlements. The need to use multiple intermediaries, for example. If we consider the system from the user's point of view, joining it costs from $160 to $200,000. Therefore, small and medium-sized banks need to open correspondent accounts in foreign currency in large banks. Another disadvantage is that the internal organization is dependent on a complex technical system. So in a moment of failures and other technical problems, the work can be suspended. Let's move forward. As you can see on the slide, using smart contracts reduces the amount of intermediaries while processing payments. SWIFT system acts as a messaging infrastructure provider, kind of a regulator, if we talk about standardization of the accompanying information and its presentation form of the payments execution. Next. Smart contracts can automatically verify information about the user and funds transmit complete information for verification and reject it in the case of an error in the data. For example, a year ago, by a similar system of interbank money transfers was successfully tested in Spain. The initiative confirms the viability of the application of blockchain technology in the field of payments, allowing the planning of transfers directly from smart contracts being deployed in blockchain networks and allowing automatic payment execution under certain conditions, such as, for example, automatic payment of a certain amount when signing a contract or performing automatic payments when receiving or shipping goods. Smart contracts can also be used to automate and optimize the process of issuing bank guarantees, their execution and cancellation. So to conclude, I'd like to say that bank services will be much reduced when implementing new standards related to cryptocurrencies, etc. Smart contracts won't end their existence, of course, but complicate it a lot. Only if existing today banks won't implement smart contracts independently faster than other beneficiaries. So that's all for me today. Let's move to questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Artyom. As far as I understand from your quite a complete presentation, that in the near future we could expect the total change of payment system landscape in the world, especially in the aspect of information messages that goes together with the payment, when smart contracts will play this significant role. Ilgiz, what's your angle of view on the matter? What do you think? What maybe your questions are to this?
Yeah, thank you. I have two questions. First one is we already have payment infrastructure, like for example, fast payment system in Russia, when people can send funds to each other using this tool. And what's the why you need to use interbank money transfers based on smart contracts, as you described in your presentation, and not using this, for example, fast payment system, if we already have working system already. And second question is why we should use, can you please switch to the slide where you describe your scheme of next one? No, next. Yeah, this one. Why here we need banks for using smart contracts if clients can send funds directly using the same smart contract, for example? This is second question. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll answer to the first one. It's okay. Yes, we already have classic quick transaction systems, SBP Russian, but blockchain and smart contracts will make transfers between countries almost instant, which is impossible now because the system of SBP is a local storage, for example. And to the second question, can you please repeat it?
Yeah, look at this slide. Mm-hmm. And here our transactions go first to bank, and then bank send funds using smart contract. Why client one can't directly send funds to client two using blockchain and smart contract?
Oh, yeah, I understand. To organize information and facilitate interaction between users, which are banks right here. And it's also due to juridical reasons, because we have different jurisdictions in different countries and different laws, and we can't organize a payment system with how to say people as payment senders, for example.
Direct participants, you mean?
Yeah, thank you.
Let me add a few words to this matter, because I think it's very important, because these questions could be addressed to the concept of Russian central bank on Russian digital ruble. This concept has been announced yesterday. You know, as we know, there are two types of money: obligation of commercial bank and obligation of central bank. For example, banknotes, banknote is obligation of central bank, not commercial one. But account opened with the bank, it's obligation of the bank. So in this scheme, Artem is talking about the bank's money transfer, as far as I understand. That's why we need to go to bank first, because without bank, we can't transfer money. That is obligation of commercial bank. If we are talking about the digital money that are obligation of central bank, then the Ilgi's point could be valid. We can use smart contracts that will connect sender and recipient directly without bank. And it's a very, very sensitive political question. Do we need, for this very type of payments, I mean client-to-client payments in central bank digital money, do we need a commercial bank participation as a facilitator of this process? Or we just can rely pure on the system and programming of these smart contracts? It's a very, very crucial question. I think this question will be discussed in this project of Russian ruble and many other central bank digital currencies. So Ilgiz, thank you very much. You ask very, very important questions. Thank you, Artyom, for your presentation. And now we have the third attempt on Adam. Adam, are you ready? Are you ready to present your material, your research?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Adam, please proceed. We are waiting. Without participating.
I'm sorry, can I help Adam with his presentation?
Yes, please, Musa. Of course, could you please help Adam? You're gonna present his presentation, as far as I understand, right?
Yes.
Please go. Okay. Adam, just manage the process. Your turn now. You can speak.
Okay. Let's start. It is obvious that opportunities provided by digital technologies are far from being fully realized. The expansion of their application insurance activities is an important direction to ensure the development of insurance. In particular, with their help, one can create additional channels for informing the population about insurance companies and the insurance services they offer. Use
Colleague, Musa, Adam, could you guide Musa on switching slides just to understand which slide you are commenting on? You stay on the first one, or you should switch to the next one? Please give a call. Musa.
Okay. Use more effective procedures for obtaining information to access the risks accepted for insurance and eliminate the consequence in insured events. We have three development of digital insurance. It is from online sales to online sales using algorithm. It is for communicating to clients information about insurers, the insurance services they provide, sales of insurance services, collection of information about policyholders, and creating a channel for feedback between the insurer and policyholder. Second, it is individualization. It is a personalization. Insurance includes the preparation of individual offers for insurance services for specific policyholder, as well as the implementation of risk assessment is in relation to each policyholder. Among the technologies that make possible to individualize insurance services, one can single out big data, the Internet of Things, digital devices for collection indicators, wireless technologies, and collecting. And we have digitalization that help for optimize processes such as procedures for the implementation of accounting and reporting, interaction with the insurance supervisory authority, assessment for the risks assumed by insured, sales of insurance services with help blockchain, smart contracts, mobile application for smartphones. Next slide. Okay, Musa. insurance problem solved by digitalization. It is a profession that were in demand in the traditional form of an insurance company. With the introduction of digitalization, lose their relevance. The next slide, please. So, and as a result, in the insurance of such development, path from online to online, individualization and digitalization, the problem of replacing human labor from algorithm come to fore. So, as a result of the transition to online sales, the role of managers will be played by chatbots on the marketplace of insurance products. The role of insurance agents will be played as an application in the phone. As a result of individualization, underwriters will lose their relevance, will mm, which will replace with various automatic services. The collect information about the client and based on them select the best product. Um, As a result of digitalization, actuaries will lose their relevance, risk assessment, regulation of rules, and implementations of accounting and reporting will be performed much more accurately by the program. And with the use of blockchain, it will be possible to sell digital policies. Next slide. As a solution to the problem of ineffective development of the digital insurance sector, it is proposed to create and develop the above pets, not inside the company but outside, not competing with the main traditional operation department, but complementing it. Next. Human psychology is focused on resolving their jobs and maintaining demand. So digitalization should take place outside the company, then it will have a tangible effect. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Adam, for first of all for your courage. You finally did it, and you solved all your problems and presented your your research. So, and of course, the importance of your research and depth is also very, very great. So, Algis, what's your specific question to Adam?
Thank you. I guess I can speak a lot on this topic because I previously worked as CPO in Marga Insurance. It's largest insurance startup in Russia, and I can give some comments on this topic.
Okay, please, yeah, comments and questions.
Yeah, for example, first of all, real life is more complicated than theory. And for example, a lot of people talk about online sales of insurance products. But if we looked on this space, we can see that changes for last 20 years is very, very significant. It's not only about in Russia, it's about all the world. And if we see on insurance companies, there is still a main sales in insurance goes through
agents
through agents or financial financial system, banks.
Partners, agents, and so forth.
Yeah. And there is only a few examples when companies solve a problem of selling insurance products online. One of them, and I guess most popular solution, is Lemonade. It's a US insurance company launched 3 or 4 years ago, and it's already is a unicorn company traded on Nasdaq, but it's a very small number of such examples. So it's very hard to sell insurance products online because it's very hard to understand for people what's a good insurance product, how one insurance product differs from another. So digitalization in this year is very slow, especially if you compare, for example, with banks, where we already have a lot of changes for 20 years. So, Adam, what do you think? What can increase adoption of digitalization in insurance space?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah. If we see on insurance market, we can see that digitalization in insurance is much slower than, for example, in finance, in banks. Do you have ideas how we could increase adoption of digitalization, digital technologies in insurance?
Adam, do you hear us? Adam, we don't hear you. Yeah.
I think that the digitalization will take place not only insurance and the development in the banks and more financial
sphere. In financial sphere, you mean?
Sphere.
Okay, Adam, thank you so much. If I may intervene, I would split Ilgis your question in two parts. One is direct sales. I mean, when the client is deciding on the product that he or she see on the screen, and this is a matter of marketing. And of course, marketing conducted by an agent and marketing conducted by a bot or program, it's not the same. But the question as regard to the sales of a digital insurance project lies not in this area. The solution. The solution is the change, the principal change of the product. For example, if you are talking about auto insurance, we have to switch from a traditional model based on 1 year insurance to a specific based model, specific related to a special devices, telematic devices that allows us to sell shorter term insurance and to implement these insurance products into taxi business or car sharing business or whatever business of short-term renting, which are not suitable to a traditional product. So the digital products need to be sold to those who are interested in a digital business. And if you are approaching a traditional owner of the car with 1 year auto insurance, no need for specific digital products other than just normal agent can explain. So it depends on the total model of the business rather than the way of selling. So it's maybe a long answer to the question, but the matter is very, very important. So thank you very much, Elgis, for your questions. Now we are switching to a Q&A session, and as a moderator, I have one question for all of our presenter and Elgis as well, if you want to take part in this talk. You presented very interesting directions in the development of finance, banking in relation to a new technology. It means that in this very type of activity, in this very type of business, we could expect a specific demand for new specialists, new professions, new occupation. So new knowledge, new skills, and so on and so forth. What do you think about what type of a new professional will be in demand in the future? How you could describe who will be most demanded by this new era of finance and banking business? What kind of specialist? Especially taking in account that you are students, so you are switch to the market in the nearest 1 to 3 years. What do you think? What kind of specialists are in demand? Please, in anybody who want to start. It's no obligatory term. Maybe ladies first. Daria, if you want.
Actually, I can start.
All right, please.
Talking about my topic, smart contracts. In my opinion, maybe some programmers, maybe designers of smart contracts, people who will construct types of smart contracts and unify them. Those who will write programs to design smart contracts also. It's about my case.
So in short, you say that people who have programming skills, very comprehensive programming skills, will be in demand, as far as I understand. Right?
Yeah, in this area. Yeah, it's designing smart contracts.
I could confirm your position that even in a primary school for children who are 10, 11, 12 years young, now there is a strong push to to let them start programming, to learn the Python and other programming languages in different forms. In the primary school, people already understand that when student comes to the university, it's already late to start learning programming. Okay, who else? Maybe Musa, Zahar, Adam.
Yes, I can say a few words about
the
topic. I think now programming skills, maybe if we are talking about language of Java or C++, it's very important to know these languages. As we know, our society are improving by their digitalization. And if you want to continue this tendency, we must also support it. Like we must not know excellent with languages of programming, but the basic, the fundamental knowledges, it's all we must know, I think, because such professions as data scientists or maybe analysis of databases. It's a really important jobs, I think, and it's help us to improve our society and simplify many processes in our life. So it's my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much, Zahar. In this regard, I have a specific question to Ilgiz, taking into account his experience. What do you think? Does a business really need so-called Euro programmers, distilled programmers, or business needs people who are specialists in certain area with certain programming skills? Okay, it's a bit of a provocative question, but
Actually, I think there could be two strategies to be a well-paid specialist in our world, I guess. First one is to be a specialist in a very narrow space, for example, to be a data scientist. And it requires you to know a set of tools very, very well, and you should work on it very well. And of course, you also need to have to know a lot of other stuff, maybe not so good, but you should understand how it works, because today you should I don't know what's in English, kruгозор.
View area, maybe.
View area, yeah. You should understand how finance works, how legal different procedures works, and so on. And if we have helicopter view on these areas, then you can much more options to get your specific knowledges and use them in this big area and get benefits from it.
Okay, thank you for your additional this. I understood your thoughts, because as I know, as far as I can concern, the data science is include the data science includes such areas as mathematics, programming, and like finance basic, and we can show it like triangle, where one side it's like mathematics, other side it's like programming, and the third side we can say it's the peak of our triangle. It's maybe finance basic, and we should watch where a focus on which tools, on which skills. If we are focused more on mathematics, we work in this area. If we are focused more on finance, it's other area. So it's a bit challenging question, I can say, but thank you for your addition to my answer.
Zahar, you invented the formula of a true specialist in area of we are discussing. The person who is true specialist should have a triangle head. But we have horizon. We still not have a question in our chat, so just as a final quiz, I would suggest all of our participants, not only presenters, but people who are just participants of our session, to answer the question. It could be a kind of prognosis. We know that the new model for banking precludes that the new bank, so-called digital bank, shouldn't have any offices, excluding the original one, the first one, I mean, official headquarters. So we could expect that the bank worldwide will continue closing down their offices. My question is, which year, when we will celebrate the closing of a final bank office in the world? What do you think? Which year it could happen in our life, not maybe in a future life? Those who would like to comment on that in this discussion directly, please proceed. If you would like to write your answer to the chat, please write it to the chat. So, who wants to comment? Who wants to comment?
Don't be shy. You can train your language skills also if you would like to discuss this topic, because it's really interesting. Just now I think when will be this moment when the final office will be closed.
What's your view, Zakhar?
Oh, I think it won't be in the maybe next 50 years. I think it will be later, because now our head offices of the banks, they are staying with us, and it plays really key role in the transactions. So maybe regional offices will be closed all in 20.
I'm not asking about headquarters. I'm asking about these retail offices, regional offices, countrywide.
It will be maybe in 50 years or 60 years, but not now, I think.
In 50. Ilgis, what's your view?
I guess we should split these questions.
Okay.
I guess for retail users in 10-15 years, they take all their operations online. But there are several groups, for example, VIP clients, who maybe I don't know why, but I guess they require some special services that need offices, and for example, VIP office I can still remain in this time.
Okay. Artem Kurdosov, Artem Knyazев, what do you think about this?
I think when the last people will die, then the last bank office will close, because I don't know, there will always be functions that and people who need to who are more convenient to interact directly in the office, to the bank manager. I don't know. I don't think they'll disappear at all. Even some small offices. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Artem, I mean, Knyazев, what do you think about this?
Okay, can you repeat?
The question is,
yes.
When we can expect the process of closing down banking offices will finish, will have its final point, taking into account the new model for digital banks already precludes that no offices should be opened for the new business.
Okay, I think that open offices now is not good for people, because I think that online office have more advantages for usual people. The first, for example, Tinkoff Bank. Tinkoff Bank, you can buy different kind different kind products, yes, different kind of products, and I just think that this is very good online platform.
All right.
When open, yeah.
Does anybody would like to add to this from audience?
We have an answer from our.
Yes, yes, I see an answer in chat, and Kazina,
yes,
writes.
Why do you think so, NJ?
I'm sorry. Can I ask your
of course,
answer?
of course, Musa.
Please. If you tell the bank no offices, I reminded the fintech companies, for example, Revolut, which created the Russian man, Nikolai Staronsky. And I mean, this company is very popular in United States, Great Britain, and Europe. I mean, and for example, if you choose for Russia, I mean the offices, the traditional offices, banks. I mean. Will popular in 20 years because there are many humans in Russia trusted the neo banks, and I mean my opinion 20 years.
Okay. Right. We see a kind of how to say consolidated view on the term of 20 years, and I would just tell my understanding of this process, but that the term probably gonna be the same, but the explanation different. I think that it needs to be spent 1 or 2 generation term to have this process completed. I mean, those guys, those children who are now 10, 11 years old, young, sorry, will probably never come to the office because office of practically everything, because they already trained to conduct all activities out of his or her room via computer. No, let multiply it by 2, I mean 2 generation of such kind of trading, that probably in 20 years we will have all the young people who will never go to office because they simply don't understand this combination, come to the office. They don't know what does it mean. That's why offices in that respect will be something either for very special guests, like Ilgiz said, or for very old people. For example, in France, we see the renaissance of paychecks. Checks. The people, mostly, not only older people, but young people as well, coming to banks asking to give them the check book just to write checks. Why is that? Because they think it's cool, it's kruta. And this very old-fashioned technology now is in demand. So probably we could have a very specific so-called retro banking office, 20th century style, where people will come just to feel this flavor. Okay. Yeah, Nika Kukawa wrote, I suppose that in 20, 30 years, as the digitalization continues in such a high pace, there will be no need for going to a bank office. Even right now, I can't recall any banking issue that I could not solve from home using my phone or computer. Very, very nice answer very nice comment. So on this major note, if nobody wants to add to this really interesting discussion, I'm expressing my own opinion. I would like to thank everybody who took part in this panel, presenter, audience, listener, commenters, experts, everybody for this for this discussion. And just to remind you that this session was translated was presented via YouTube, on YouTube. So I guess there will be a video, and those who want to have another option to watch this discussion, you will have this opportunity on YouTube. Thank you so much, and goodbye to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.